Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel if you are new. Hello, my name is V. I post nail tutorials every Thursday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. Central Time. Getting right into today's video, I'm starting off by prepping my natural nails. I am going to be doing a little bit of a nail trend for today's video. I am so excited to be getting my nails back as I've been rocking the same nails for a good minute now. I'm starting off using my rechargeable e-file. I have it at a speed of about 4,000 RPMs. Along with that, I'm using my Mandrel bit from Profile's Backstage and sanding bands that are medium grit. All the products will be linked down below, so make sure you guys check the description box for the links directly to the products along with discount codes. I'm basically buffing off the shine from my natural nail. This is going to help the acrylic adhere nicely. I'm not applying too much pressure, very light pressure for this step, as I do not want to damage the natural nail. Once I'm done buffing off that shine, I am going in and prepping my cuticle area. This is basically where the majority of lifting issues will occur, so you want to make sure you prep it properly, and a perfect way to do so is using a needle bit. This one is my favorite, and I have found that it definitely helps fix any lifting issues. I am taking that needle bit still at 4,000 RPMs on my e-file, and I'm just basically going around that cuticle area, making sure I am fully removing the dead skin that I may have missed with the Mandrel bit. And as you can see, I am definitely getting some removed. So if you guys are having any lifting issues, definitely recommend you guys check this bit out. It helps so much. Once I'm done using the needle bit, I am taking my cuticle ball bit, and then I'm going to be filing the skin on that cuticle. This helps gently buff it off without having to nip or cut anything off. And then any little areas that I have around my fingertip that are a little bit more on the dry side, I go ahead and take that bit as well and just gently buff it into smoothness. So if you guys want a nice clean cuticle area look, this is the bit for that step. Now for the final step for my prep process, I am taking my Tammy Taylor peel and stick file, and I am filing the free edge of my natural nail. This is my personal preference. I like my nail to be as short as possible, especially when I'm starting to do a new set. I do not like that growth under there, so I try to trim them as best as possible all the way down. And my favorite way to do that is using my hand file versus clipping them off. I get that nice round smooth finish without having any imperfections that may be caused by the nail clippers. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the nails. We're going to go ahead and apply the tips. For today's video, I am using the Not Polish extra long C-curve tips. These are the squared ones. They are perfectly shaped, perfect C-curve. They give you that full sculpted look, which is my favorite. I feel like nails look so much better if they don't have a curve to them. That is just my opinion. But they also have the stiletto ones and the coffin ones, so make sure you guys check those out on their website. I am just very carefully applying these with my Young Nails brush on glue, my all-time favorite glue, so make sure you guys purchase that, try it out for yourself. The brush makes it such an easier process when it comes to gluing anything on your nails.
All I see is blessings, got no time for stressing. Don't believe in failures in my life, it's only lessons. They just make room for.
I'm taking my nail tip cutters and just trimming these tips down. I do prefer my thumbs to be way shorter than the rest of my nails. It just makes day-to-day life so much easier, especially when you have little ones and you need to unbuckle their car seats. To me personally, I do not mind having shorter thumbs. I prefer it. It makes life easier. The look, honestly, nobody really notices that my thumbs are shorter unless you're watching my videos. So I'm just going ahead and trimming the rest of the nails down to a pretty long length. I'm making them shorter than I normally keep them, but they're still really long. So I'm taking my hand file and just gently filing that tip. Whenever you do trim them down, they will not be perfect. So make sure you get your hand file and just gently straighten that out. Now, I'm not going to be doing any filing to the sides. I basically would only do this if I got a tip that's a little bit too big for the nail. Then I would definitely file it down. But like I said, they are already perfectly shaped, so I'm not going to be filing the sides at all. I'm taking a lint-free wipe and some Young Nail Swipe, and I am rubbing that on my natural nail. This is going to help remove any excess dust while also dehydrating the nail. If you do not have Young Nail Swipe, you can always use alcohol, but I definitely prefer the Young Nail Swipe. Now I'm taking my primer. This is the XXX Bond from Not Polish, and I am completely saturating my nail with it. Just my natural nail. This is going to help with the acrylic adhesion. I am going to basically rub it in very nicely, making sure that everything is completely covered with this product. And then I'm going to be adding a second coat. I basically do this just to ensure that I get zero lifting while I have my nails on. For today's video, I am using Nude Me from Not Polish. It is one of my favorite nudes. It goes with tons of different skin tones, so highly recommend it if you guys are looking for a very versatile nude. I'm taking a large bead of acrylic and applying that near the tip, gently blending it down. I'm not using too much pressure when I'm building out my acrylic. I basically am using a very gentle tapping motion. If you're holding your finger in a downward position, that's going to help the product flow naturally downwards, which makes the application process so much easier and less of a hassle. For today's video, I'm also using the Not Polish acrylic brush in the size 12. Along with that, I'm using their acrylic monomer. I'm just going to go ahead and apply some acrylic near the cuticle area, gently pushing it upwards while still holding my finger in a downward position, gently cleaning up the sides, making sure that it is not running into the cuticle area. I've talked about this before in my videos. Even though you feel like you might be cleaning it off completely, there still will be a little bit of acrylic left. So you want to make sure that the acrylic is not running into that cuticle area from the beginning. Just make sure you are cleaning up the sides very, very carefully, very quickly. Now again, taking a large bead of acrylic, applying that basically where the free edge of my natural nail is, and then I'm blending it down, building it down towards the tip. Very light tapping motions. I'm making sure that I'm cleaning up the sides as well, so that at the end I don't have to do too much filing, while trying to get the thickness of the nail to my liking. I'm adding a second bead in that middle section. This is basically going to help build up that apex. For me personally, I do not build it up a crazy amount. I like my nails to be on the thinner side. And from my experience, whenever you are using C-curve tips or using forms to sculpt out the nail, you will notice that that C-curve naturally helps keep the strength of the nail. So you don't actually have to build up the apex too high. So just a quick little disclaimer, it's from my personal experience and from me using different products throughout the years. I have noticed this and feel very strong about the fact that I don't need a huge apex. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that process on the rest of the nails. I figured you guys do not want to hear me repeat the same steps over and over again as I'm doing the exact same process. So I'll let you guys watch, and then I'll be right back on when I feel it's necessary.
My actions, they haunt me, and I'll never live it down. broken plans so we can start again. Won't turn down a second chance, I'm too selfish for that. I let you fall again, now that you know that I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood, cause I'm trying hard to love. I'm sorry, my actions, they haunt me, and I'll never live it down. I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was.
Now getting into our filing process, I'm using my Kiara Sky rechargeable e-file. I have her at a speed of 10,000 RPMs. Along with that, I'm using my rose gold 5-in-1 bit from Kiara Sky. This one is medium grit. However, they also have fine and coarse grit available on their website. I'm taking my e-file and just gently filing the surface of the nail. I'm basically focusing more on the cuticle area, as I want to make sure that that cuticle area is nice and flush to the natural nail. If you have a bulky cuticle area, that will cause snagging, which ultimately leads to lifting. So you want to make sure that it is nice and flush to avoid that. And then I'm just quickly going on the surface of the rest of the nail and just very randomly filing it. I am going to be taking my hand file a little bit later on and fully filing it into smoothness. So again, basically focusing more on that cuticle area. taking my hand file, I'm going to file the sides of the nails, the tip of the nail, and the surface of the nail. I am starting off by filing the sides. This just ensures that my shaping is going to be perfect. And then I'm filing the tip, and then I'm very quickly, with very light pressure, filing the surface of the nail. I feel like I have way better control of my hand file when I'm doing my own nails, so I prefer to use my hand file, and for whatever reason, I'm a lot quicker with my hand file as well. So if you guys have used an e-file to finish filing and a hand file on yourself, I feel like just the finished result, personally, the hand file gets a better, nice smoothness to it. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the nails. Once I'm done filing the surface of the nail and my shaping is nice and perfect, I'm taking my sponge buffer from Profiles Backstage and really going in on my nails and making sure that that surface is nice and smooth. This is going to help create that perfect canvas for our nail art that we're about to create. I'm taking a lint-free wipe and some swipe, cleaning the surface of the nail, making sure that it is nice and dust-free for our nail art. Now for today's nail trend, I am going to be sharing you guys the exact process that I used for today's video. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys an alternative way that I feel like it would look a lot better. Originally, I was going to do a different design for today's video. However, I left some of the stuff at my house, so I had to improvise and I switched it up to do this design. I am using the jelly polishes from Profiles Backstage. These are their translucent gel polish line, which I absolutely love. They are my favorite. I'm starting off by using the orange one, and I'm going to be doing the French design, of course. So I'm taking my liner brush from Not Polish and outlining that smile line, and then I'm taking the brush from the polish and filling in the rest of the nail. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the rest of the nails as well. Now, as mentioned, I did say that I switched up the design last minute. So I would highly recommend you guys do this on a clear nail. I would still probably do the nude French smile line. However, I would leave the tip clear so that you really get that sheer look to it versus adding a sheer polish on top of a color or white, or how I'm doing it here, nude, is going to make it a lot more opaque, making the design less sheer. So just a quick little tip for you guys if you want to recreate it on your own nails or on your clients. I would definitely recommend doing it on a clear nail. Once we're done applying that first base layer, I am going to be curing that in the light. I did pop it in there for a full minute, making sure that everything is nice and cured before we go into our next step. Now I'm taking my 3D nail art brush and I am using the black jelly polish from Profiles Backstage, and I'm basically just drawing little blobs of that color. This is going to be like the deepest color for these spots for the design. So I'm just randomly splotting it on there, leaving a good amount of space in between. And then I'm going to be repeating that on the rest of the nails, and then we're going to be layering on a different color. Now we're going to be popping that in the light once again, curing it for a full minute, making sure everything is nice and cured. Now we're going in with the brown color jelly polish, and I'm just going around those blobs and basically adding like a diluted look to that blob. And you can also use the black, honestly, just in a thinner layer than what you created originally. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the nails, and then we're going to be popping that in the light once again. I'm taking the brown polish along with the yellow one, and I'm going to be quickly mixing just a lighter version of that brown, and I'm going to be using that as my final layer to the nail art. Using my 3D nail art brush, I'm going to be quickly applying that to the entire surface of the nail. And this is just going to kind of blend everything together and add a little bit more of that brown to it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, a way of getting it a little bit more on the accurate side for this design, I would do it on a clear nail. And another thing would definitely be to just use the brown, the yellow, and the black. That would definitely give the more of the brown look to it, versus I added orange because I really wanted to see what it would look like with a different kind of tone to it. And I really like it. However, if you're trying to go for that like absolute shell look, I would definitely stick to the deeper brown tones versus adding orange to it. Again, on a clear tip. Now for the final touch, I decided to add a brown line around the smile line. For this, I'm using my Young Nails brown gel paint. I didn't seem to have any other brown, so I went ahead and used this one, and I feel like it goes perfectly with it. I'm using my liner brush from Not Polish once again and just outlining that smile line very carefully, and I'm going to be repeating that on the rest of the nails. As always, don't forget to cure that in the light for a full minute. Now to top off this design, I feel like I couldn't have done any other top coat other than Gloss Hit from Not Polish. This just adds that extra touch to this design. So I'm taking that top coat and fully coating that surface of the nail, very, very thin layer. And I am really pressing that into the nail art portion, specifically because with all the layers of gel polish and gel paint that I just added on that nail, you do create a little bit of a textured surface, so you want to make sure you're fully coating that with your top coat to protect all of it. I'm going to go ahead and finish that off and placing that in the light for a full minute. I like to do 2 minutes just to make sure that everything is nice and cured.
Day one before the glow up,
Once we are out of the light, I am adding very generously my cuticle oil from Profiles Backstage. I'm just rubbing that in with my fingers, making sure that I fully coat my cuticles. It will blend into your skin very, very nicely. I'm just taking my finger and rubbing the tip of the nail just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. I basically do this on all my clients as well. So I'm just massaging that in, and then I realized my knuckles were crusty as well, so I added a little bit on there, rubbed it in, and we were good to go. But that basically concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a ton. I will see you guys next time.